with Charlton Sports Weekly here at Anytime Fitness. Glenn Hughes with Stan Wilds. We got a special guest, Coach Bill Shepard from the Bethune Braves.
Howdy. How are you?
I said yesterday they went down to Callahan and came away with a pretty exciting win, I hear.
Yeah, it was a real exciting win. They did a great job. We're really proud of the way the guys played. Started out with A.J. Bell, completing 3 touchdown passes to number 23, Devin Chastain, setting up a touchdown to Devin Chastain to lead the scoring. He missed the PAT, but back and forth, in and out, defense doing real good, led by Mookie Smith and Devontae Jernigan and Jack Gowan. We played back and forth. Eventually, Callahan scored again just right at the beginning of the second half. Right after Callahan scored, Eric Daniels, number 9, ran an 81-yard touchdown return. Put us back up ahead. And again, back and forth. After A.J., it took a lot of time getting the offense settled back down into playing. Eric Daniels ended up doing the major part of the quarterbacking, along with trying to throw the ball, but we didn't throw the ball that much anymore after that. It wasn't that successful. So we ended up running. He did a great job running, probably had about 250 yards.
That ain't a bad job.
You know, he did good. He just wouldn't come down. He kept running. With about 3 minutes to go in the game, Callahan had gotten a big pass completion on a halfback pass and set it up down to the 3 or 4 yard line. Scored, tied it up, and made the 2-point try after the defense had jumped off sides. Went up by 2. And there was 3 minutes left in the game when they kicked off to us, and we made an 80-yard drive, had 1 touchdown called back for holding, and then went ahead and scored again with about 8 seconds left in the game. 8.6 seconds left in the game, Coach said. And we went up ahead, and they kickoff return, the guy ran back and forth across the field making a play, but we were extremely proud of the way the kids played. They had a lot of adversity this year. They had a lot of chances just in that game, so 2 or 3 chances right near the end just kind of to give up, but they didn't give up. They kept playing, and we're proud of the way they played and real happy that they came away with that win.
Like I said, that wraps up y'all's season, doesn't it?
That wraps up the season. We ended up 3-4 with St. Mary's, Bacon, and Callahan being the victories.
Okay. How did the team do as far as progressing during the?
There's a lot of progression. We're looking for a lot next year. We have like 27th graders coming back. We had 8 8th graders this year, and we had quite a few 6th graders on the roster. So we have a lot of kids coming back. It should be a real good setup. We got a lot of the offensive line back, a lot of the some of the key players back that are going to be in there.
Well,
a couple of them. Some of the 8th graders will help the varsity when they move up.
Future looks pretty bright then, huh? Well, Coach, we appreciate you dropping by, and we'll take a break right now, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Anytime Fitness Folkestone, located in the Harvey Shopping Center, has everything you need to stay in shape or get that look you've always wanted. Upright conventional tanning beds, a Zumba room, weight room, and state-of-the-art treadmills. They also have supplements and tanning supplies. Anytime Fitness Folkestone is also the proud sponsor of Charlton Sports Weekly with Glenn Hughes and Stan Wilds. See Stan to get fit anytime.
The Folkestone Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is located at 3885 Main Street. At Folkestone Pharmacy, we accept most major insurance coverage, including AARP, WellCare, Medicaid, Amerigroup, and many more. We also have a $1 value aisle for everyday items such as health and beauty, cleaning, and even snacks. Stop by and check us out today. Now, let's go get 'em Indians. United First Federal Credit Union has been a part of Charlton County since 2001 and has been providing great service to our members since 1943. United First now offers mobile banking and email alerts. Mobile banking lets you check your balance from your cell phone, while email alerts notifies you when a significant event happens in your account. Both are easy to set up and are free to United First members. United First helps you afford life. All accounts are federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to Charlton Sports Weekly here at Anytime Fitness. We appreciate Coach Shepard dropping in earlier. Right now we're going to talk a little bit of maiden softball. Today they went all the way basically to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, just south of there.
But they played Gordon Lee in the first game. It started at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And I heard a score that they were defeated 12-0 in the first game. And the second game right now is currently underway, so we don't know the results of that one. But like I said, the girls, they left this morning about 6 o'clock, so I'm sure that bus ride's having
a long drive.
And they're playing, of course, the top-ranked team in the state, so
defending state champ too.
Defending state champions, playing with roughly 5-6 freshmen starting on the field. So if anything, it's a good learning experience for them.
I'm proud of the girls for just making the playoffs.
Right. I mean, the future looks real bright for them. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit of recreation news. I know last Saturday I had my fill of it.
I can imagine.
We had seven ball games. I think
you can only hope for so many running clocks, Glenn.
And we had one. And the worst part of the thing was the first game of the day went in overtime. And put us behind schedule right from the get-go. But all of our local teams won except for one of our 7- and 8-year-old teams. They played a pretty good team from Brantley. But all of them's doing well this year. They all go to Nahunta this Saturday, and I believe the next home games here will be November the 10th. So I got a few weeks to rest back up again.
There you go. Watch some college football.
That's right. Well, like I said, I had my fill of it last Saturday, and I think I got home about 6:30 that night after starting at 10 o'clock that morning.
Well, you got a few weeks off, November the 10th. If they're all playing here, hopefully all the parents, all the grandparents, aunts and uncles can go out there and watch the little guys play.
That's right.
They like to show out a little bit too. So we like to see crowds out there for them.
Yeah, Coach Shepard's talking about the talent level at the middle schools. Some of it, it's coming back, so it's looking good. And there's going to be some good kids moving up to him next year. Yeah. So the athletes are coming still. So
we still got some athletes in this county, right, contrary to what some folks think.
That's it.
Let's talk a little bit about the varsity team.
Okay.
We went to help me out.
Lanier County. There you go.
Last week, first half looked a lot
like the Turner game.
Like we had just got off the bus when we went to Turner. I was sitting up there in the bleachers thinking, man, something is just not right here. I mean, we look sluggish, and we're just letting these teams hang around that we're used to blowing out.
Right.
But the second half looked like last year and the year before's team. It looked like Indian football.
Like I said, we turned the ball over twice in the first half, and they converted one of those into a touchdown, took a 7-0 lead. Like I said, then finally right before halftime, we got a little passing game working, and we drove down the field, and on 4th down with, I believe, 40-something seconds left in the half, I think we finally broke the plane and scored a touchdown, and Coach Mack called for a little end around to Kurt Nixon for a 2-point conversion.
That was a nice 2-point play.
So that put us up 8-7, and I think it kind of deflated them a little bit going into the half, and then the first play of the second half, I think
opening kickoff.
That's what I mean. It pretty much busted,
really took the wind out of their sails.
Busted their bubble for real.
Go ahead.
Devin Jones, like I said, he received the kickoff and went 87 yards for a touchdown.
For the second week in a row.
Second week in a row, right.
Kickoff return for a touchdown.
And after that, it was
Katie barred the door. The floodgates open. And it was nice to see halfway through the fourth quarter, the starters come out and let the second team go in. We hadn't had much of that.
No, we haven't.
And, you know, that was finally, it was like we let a breath of, you know,
we're going to relax a little bit.
And let out and let it all go, and the guys performed like I think they're capable of.
Right. But, well, Andrew Lee, he scored his first 2 varsity touchdowns. You know, we hope the first of many to come in the future.
Only a freshman.
That's right. Like I said, Tyree Savage, he scored twice. We talked about Devin Jones, and I believe C.J. Maynard caught a touchdown pass. So
I don't know who led the defense. I don't get the tackle sheet no more. Brent gets it, but I never see it.
Well, actually, Coach Mack told me that Bradley Todd led in tackles because he was on just about every special teams tackle. And
he was.
And he got some there late at the end.
Yeah.
So, but
well, good for Bradley. He's hung around. He don't start on defense, but he's a special teams demon.
That's it.
And he has been in on a lot of special teams tackles this year. And he plays all on every special team, so he basically plays a third of the game.
Right,
so.
And you need kids like that who'll bust their tails on special teams and not think of it as something, you know, too good for it. So
exactly. So congratulations to Bradley. That's when you lead the team in tackles and most of them special teams. That's hustle.
That's right.
That's hustle.
I believe we had a couple of turnovers. I believe T.J. Wilson and Tion Burrows both recovered fumbles during the game, so good job for both of them.
T.J. always seems to be in the right spot.
He does, I believe.
When those fumbles fall on the ground, because I want to say he's probably recovered.
I'm thinking it's 4, I think, on the year.
4 or 5 at least this year, so. He's in the right spot at the right time for a fumble, that's for sure.
Normally this time we'd talk about our next week's opponent, but
open date.
We got an open date, and get ready for your hated Panthers from Homerville.
That's right. Just a real funny story. I got a first cousin that is a referee out at the Albany Association. And he reffed the Irwin-Clinch County game last week.
Right.
And they played in Homerville. And he said late in the game, Irwin had some reserves in, and they were threatening to score. And there was about 3 minutes left in the game, and they were still running plays. Irwin was. And he said that, what's Clinch County's coach's name?
Dickerson.
Yeah, he said that Coach Dickerson literally ran across the field to the other hash mark, yelling at Irwin's coaches to tell them to take a knee and quit trying to run up the score. He said they physically had to pull him back to Clinch County sideline, and he told them, he said, this is a humbling experience. I've never had it this bad, which this is, we can't say too much because I don't remember in the last 15, 20 years losing 3 regular season games, but he was a little perturbed, and I think Joey said that Irwin probably went on to score.
Right.
So you can't tell your backups not to score. They practice every
That's
day
true.
Too, so.
And Clinch has got another tough one this week. I think Wilcox County goes to Homerville.
Mm-hmm. I think he may be across the field before halftime this week. so if Wilcox plays them like they probably played Turner last week, they beat Turner County 38-0. Then they'll probably, and I don't think there's any good blood between Wilcox and Clinch either.
Probably not, no.
But we'll have them here next week. That's homecoming. Hopefully we'll have a big crowd. That's our big rivalry of the year. And hopefully we can, we've been win one, lose one, win one, lose one. We need to break that chain.
Well, this bye week might do it
I
for
hope
us.
so, man. Let's get a win against Clinch. Then the following week we'll have Telfair, and then we really need to just win out, and hope that somebody else can beat Turner County.
I mean Irwin County.
Turner County, because if we win out, we've beaten everybody except Turner.
That's true, right?
And if we win out, well, we would need somebody to beat Irwin too.
Right.
Hope Wilcox will beat them.
I'm sure they will.
And that'll put us tied with Wilcox, and we got the head-to-head.
That's true. I guess go ahead.
The power rankings this week in the public schools has got us at number 5, but I noticed in the top 16 there's 5 teams out of our region.
Right.
That's still contending for playoff spots.
But I don't know if I can't remember if I said it on the air, if I just told Adam last week. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we won last week and still dropped in the power rankings, and that's what happened. We went from 3 to 5, and Wilcox jumped above us. I think it just happens to do with they played Turner, who had won 5 games. We had played Lanier, who had won twice. Mm-hmm. So that plays into it somehow or another. But anyway, top 5's not bad. They're still in good shape. But who else we got in the region?
We're at 5. Irwin's at 6. Turner's at 11. And Clinch County, believe it or not, is at number 14 there.
They're hanging by a thread down there.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hopefully we'll just kick them out of the top 16 next week. Just boot them on out.
Wilcox might do it before we can, though.
Yeah, Wilcox will probably knock them out. So, but as long as we make it, that's all I care about.
That's right. Basically, you want to stay in the top 8 so you can get a first-round home game, and you don't get a first-round road trip like the Maidens are having made today.
Exactly.
So.
That'd be horrible. But not much other varsity football this week. The boys are having a good week of practice, and they get Friday off from practice. I imagine the coaches are going to go scout some. And I think I'm going to enjoy a Friday off.
I know that.
Football.
Also want to remind everybody there's a B-team game on Thursday at 5 o'clock against Ware County, I believe, and Charlton Sports Net is going to broadcast it live. So if you can't be there, tune in and check out the JV Indians. But for right now, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and
do some college picks.
Right.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
T&T Building Supply is located about a half mile past US 1 and the 301 split, north of Folkestone, right next to Taylor Timber Company. They have everything you need for your home improvement projects, with a wide selection of lumber, hardware, millwork, plumbing, and electrical supplies, concrete and masonry, power and hand tools, nails, and roofing supplies. They also have a large selection of mobile home hardware. T&T Building Supply is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Radio Shack, located at 3885 Main Street, inside the Folkestone Pharmacy, is your local Verizon Wireless authorized agent and Dish Network retailer. Radio Shack carries a variety of computers, tablets, smartphones, and other electronics. The Shack in Folkestone is proud of our student athletes and wishes them the best of luck this season. Now, let's go get 'em Indians.
Welcome back to Charlton Sports Week. We're here to do our college football picks, see how much farther behind I can fall this week.
Well, let's just say, I hope you fall behind at least one more game this week.
Well, I think that's all we got different.
That's all we got different on. Last week, I think it was North Carolina and against Miami, and what was the other game we differed on?
I don't even remember now.
I can't remember either, but
I lost every one we had different. That's all that matters.
All right, this week we got 10 games. We got the Holy War, BYU at Notre Dame. We got the Mormons
and the Catholics
against the Catholics. I like the Catholics. I got a bunch of family that's Catholic, so I'm going with Notre Dame. And I think they're going to blow. I think they're way better anyway.
I was going to say, I don't think BYU's got the caliber of teams they've had in the past, and Notre Dame is definitely much improved over what they've been.
Notre Dame is, I think, for real this year. That was a controversial game, a controversial win against Stanford last week. But some folks, analysts, were saying the guy scored, but the guy's elbow was down before he hit the goal line, and then he fumbled the ball. So.
Right, but anyways, I'm picking Notre Dame also.
All right, Boston College at Georgia Tech. I know this pick kills you, Glenn, being a Dogs fan. And all.
Well, not too bad. I mean,
I'm going with the Rambling Rex.
Right, I said Boston College has struggled a bit. Of course, Georgia Tech struggled a little bit lately too, but I'm hoping our Charlton County alumni Chris Milton and his Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech can pull out a win here.
Me too. All right, North Carolina at Duke. I'm taking Carolina in that game. I honestly think North Carolina, if they were eligible to win the ACC,
might do it.
They don't play FSU, but I think they could play with FSU. At least score back and forth with them. Duke let me down last week, and in another picks pool I'm in, I picked Duke to cover a 10.5-point spread, and they got a 20-0 lead and blew it. So I think they're the same old Duke, so I'm taking the Tar Heels.
Well, I've picked against North Carolina, I think, 3 weeks in a row, and I've lost every time. So
you finally started seeing the light, huh?
And I'm going to pick North Carolina this week, and Duke better not end up beating them, because I'm going to be highly upset.
All right, Auburn at Vanderbilt. 2 cellar dwellers in the SEC this year. Auburn is horrible on both sides of the ball and special teams. So I'm going to take Vanderbilt.
I agree with you. Auburn has basically no offense whatsoever. Vanderbilt has played well against some good teams, just hasn't been able to finish the deal off. So I'm counting on them to do it this week.
They'll probably, if they beat Auburn, Vandy will think that's a big win. But they won't realize just how bad Auburn is this year. All right. To me, this is one of the 2 best games of the week we got on here. LSU at Texas A&M. LSU beat my beloved Gamecocks last week by 2 points, and truthfully, the game shouldn't even been that close. LSU outplayed them on both sides of the ball, and had some turnovers and missed some field goals, and they probably should have beat them by 3 touchdowns. But anyways, it's hard to win in Baton Rouge on a Saturday, much less a Saturday night. So, but they're going to Kyle Field at Texas A&M, another rowdy place to play in. If LSU can run the ball and control the line of scrimmage like they did last week, I think they win. And I'm going to take LSU, but I'm going to say this. If Manziel gets loose and A&M gets about a 10-point lead, I think A&M could take the game.
Right. It's going to take LSU playing like they did last week, which is...
It's hard to get up 2 weeks in a row.
Like I said, South Carolina couldn't do it. So, but I'm agree with you. I'm going to go with LSU there and hope for the best.
Yeah. I'm kind of rooting for A&M in that game, to be truthful with you, to see if they can get them a signature win here. All right. I don't think this next game will be too much of a problem, but Middle Tennessee at Mississippi State. Middle Tennessee did beat Georgia Tech earlier in the year, but
rather handily too.
Yeah, Mississippi State still undefeated. They haven't played a top caliber SEC team yet. I think next week they play Alabama at home, so they'll have Alabama in Starkville. So we'll know for sure if they're a top tier team again. But I don't see Middle Tennessee getting close, and I'm going to take Mississippi State.
Like I said, Middle Tennessee played Tech tough, but and it may be close for a half maybe, but I think after that Mississippi State pulls away and wins.
All right. This next games are actually these next two games are big rivalry games. FSU at Miami. FSU probably the upset of the year 2 weeks ago when NC State beat them. Miami's been up kind of like us this year. Win 1 week, lose the next. Win 1 week, lose the next. But this is a rivalry game, and a lot of rivalries. You can throw the record out the window. There's a 17-point line on this game. FSU's a 17-point favorite. I say they win, but they ain't going to win by 17
no.
I don't think.
But,
so I'll take FSU.
So it's played at Miami's, which will help the Hurricanes out a little bit, but I don't think it's going to help them out enough. I think, like I said, 2 weeks ago, Florida State got their wake-up call. And
they get that every year. So,
right.
We knew it was coming. It was a matter of time.
So, but I'm picking the Seminoles.
All right. This is a rivalry game that's kind of lost its
luster
in the last 4 or 5 years. Alabama at Tennessee. Alabama rolls in this game. I don't even know if it's a game at halftime. So.
Like I said, I know the Tennessee fans some of them are wanting Derek Dooley fired, and I know they painted up a rock or something, had all kind of stuff, bad things to say about him. So, but if Alabama plays like Alabama's capable, that shouldn't be no problem.
That may be over by halftime. All right, we got your beloved Bulldogs at the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky, they may be in a battle with Auburn for the worst team in the Southeastern Conference this year. UGA's had 2 weeks to prepare for them. They're coming off that big loss to Carolina 2 weeks ago. They're going to be looking to redeem themselves big time. And I say Georgia probably wins that game by as many as they want to.
Like I said, I'm hoping them 2 weeks seething in their heads and gets them fired up to play right from the get-go. But like I said, Georgia shouldn't have any problems with Kentucky, though.
No, I don't think they will. That's probably another game that'll be over with at halftime. All right. Then this leads us to the big game of the week. South Carolina at Florida. Both teams, along with Georgia, still alive for the SEC East Championship. This game will go a long way. If Carolina loses this game, in my opinion, they're out of the race for the East.
Right.
Because Georgia will still have one loss, and then next week Georgia and Florida play. And Florida will have no losses if they win. The last couple years, Carolina's had Florida's number. It's been over 2 years since they lost a game to a SEC East division team. And this could be a game, I think, like last week's Carolina LSU game. Maybe a little bit closer played, but the same type of score. I would say Carolina pulls out a win by 3 points.
Like I said, this could be a toss-up game.
Yeah, it could.
I am picking
Go ahead, Glenn.
Oh, this is hard to say. I'm picking Florida. Simply with
Tell them why you picking Florida.
I'm getting to it now. Well, we need Florida to beat South Carolina, and then Georgia to beat Florida next week. That puts Georgia in the lead for the SEC East.
That would.
So, that and I'm behind about 6 games in the pick, so I got to pick one different here, and I'll probably drop behind 7 games next week, but tape this because this may be the only time in your life that these words come out my mouth. But
you got to do the chomp too for Adam.
No, I ain't going that far. It's just.
Come on, Glenn, for Adam.
Let's go Gators for 1 week only for about 3 hours.
At 6:30 it'll be over.
That's right. I'll go back to full-blooded hate for them.
There you go. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the picks this week. This is becoming the funnest part of the show, man.
And it's fun for you because you're winning, but.
But we'll be back next week. No varsity game to talk about, so we'll probably have a bunch of college football to talk about next week. No JV or a JV
we'll have
game.
Some JV
and no junior high.
We'll give you an update on what the maidens did in the second game, but until then, we'll sign off and see y'all next week.